Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to just kind of talk through our 19th anniversary because as you're fixing to see, we only got a couple of clips here and there. So that's for a couple of reasons. So number one, Matt, like I had said before, Matt and I have planned on with our 19th anniversary, we're looking at our 20 year, and we'd always made this promise when we first married. We made this promise that every 5 years, no matter how many kids, no matter how busy life was, we would try to get away, just the two of us, so that we could kind of reset, reconnect, and just have that time to ourselves. So next year's our 20 years. So we didn't want to do something super big. Also, there's a possibility that we're going to get to do something for a family vacation this summer. It's our oldest two's last summer before they're 18 and college and jobs and things. So I really want to focus this summer on spending quality time with my kids. That said, we had just planned on, we were not going to do something super big. So my mother-in-law was going to take them for like 24 hours. And then Matt and I were just going to chill at home. And we were either going to go out to eat. And where the goal was, we wanted to go out to eat. And then we were going to stay the night at home. That way we didn't have to get a dog sitter. Our dog sitter is amazing. She's super sweet. Say hi to her in the comments. And you can just literally call her, hi, super amazing dog sitter, because she's the best. That was the plan to begin with. And at offset, everything was fine. When I went to pick Matt up from work on Friday, what ended up happening was it was like pouring down rain, and where they had coated all the roads in like salt and grime and all that whenever we had the foot of snow. And in the south, like, we have ice under our snow every time it snows. It just happens. Plus, just like, roads are different in the south when it snows. It really is. You would have to live here to understand it. But it's different. And when it snows in the East Tennessee, Great Smoky Mountains area of the United States. So when all that happened, what usually happens is the next time it rains, as it starts warming up, we start getting potholes, sinkholes. And I know other states deal with this too, but like, we've had like rain after rain after rain, so they haven't been able to go in and fix these potholes. So like, the roads were super unsafe all weekend. It was raining all weekend. So we just decided, on his way home from work, we stopped, and I'll show the clip here. We stopped and got Hardee's, and we love Hardee's, and it's like a rare for us because Hardee's is so expensive for a family of 6. So we picked up Hardee's. We went to Food City, and we picked up coffee creamers, these 2 flavors that we've been looking for, the English toffee and like the Bridgerton, I think is how you say that, flavors. So we picked those up. We picked up some dessert, picked up some like finger food stuff, and we picked up some easy breakfast, because like, one thing I told Matt was, I don't mind doing a staycation when we're staying at home, but like, if I'm still washing dishes or still cooking, that's not really a break for me. Like, that's everyday life. So I wanted something that felt more like a break. And he was like, okay, just like, no question asked. Like, okay, I get that. Because like, he doesn't want to come home from work and build construction things when he's on vacation. So like, he gets that. So we found some convenient, like, and normally I wouldn't buy like a ton of convenience breakfast because, again, family of 6. Wow, the sun is actually rising before 7:30. It's great. Like, we get the light, but then the sun doesn't actually come up our ridge until like 10 o'clock. But it's getting more light sooner, so we love when it does that, because like, it feels so dark in East Tennessee in the colder months. In East Tennessee in the winter, we maybe get like 6 hours of actual direct sunlight. So far everything went to plan. We stayed at home. And well, we were wanting to go out to eat. That didn't happen. We just picked some food up. We were fine with that. We stayed home. Then the next morning, we had just sat down for breakfast, and I had gotten up and I was like, I want to just take a hot shower. And I know that's like really, that may be really weird, because like, I'm normally not a like shower first thing in the morning person, but like, normally on Saturdays, if we're at home, we're rotating showers all day so that everybody can have a hot shower. And so like, I was like, I want to go ahead and, I was saying like a lot, I was in the mindset of, I want to go ahead and get a hot shower before the kids even get home today. That way I've already had my shower, and I'm not having to like, we're not having to juggle it. Because as a mom, like, my first priority is always like, okay, the kids need to get their showers first. And I try to get them through the shower, and then usually I'll just take mine Sunday morning or something. But it's Saturday morning, I was, hey, I want a shower. So I got up, took a shower, and then while I was doing that, Matt took the dog out, and then we had breakfast together. As we're sitting down to eat breakfast, I get a text from my mother-in-law. She's had an emergency, needs us to come pick the kids up like immediately. Like, it wasn't anything bad, but like she just needed us to come get the kids. And it wasn't like they were bad. The kids were wonderful. They were so sweet, and she loved having them up there. It was the first time they'd ever stayed the night with her, because like her house is super small. It's not really, it was built for her and her husband, and now that he's gone, like she's just, but she doesn't want to move yet, and that's a whole nother, just, I don't want to get into that. But anyways, it was the first time they'd all ever stayed the night there. I think any of them had ever stayed the night there with her, and she loved it. But then the next morning, just like she needed us to come and get them. And so it was like, okay, we weren't really expecting, we were expecting to have a little more time together. And it was kind of getting cut short, but that was okay. So we went, and we actually went and picked the kids up and Chinese New Year. So usually a lot of the restaurants would do something special for Chinese New Year when we went, and everybody had the mindset of let's get Chinese, because Chinese New Year and the day before the Super Bowl. So it actually was kind of like busy, and as we were sitting there at the restaurant eating, I felt off, and I'm like, oh no, like I just felt off. Like I knew something was wrong with me personally. So we finished eating, we went to Sam's, and we just focused on like food for us at home for the rest of the weekend. And then when we came home, I like sat down in the recliner and fell asleep for 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, something's wrong. And I ended up having a chronic illness flare up. And I don't think it was the stress, because I really wasn't stressed. Like, it was, things changed all of a sudden at last minute, but I wasn't like super stressed. But yeah, my body was just like, nope, here it is. And that's, unfortunately, that's sometimes what happens, is like, I'm either when I'm super stressed or when I'm super relaxed, my body's like, now's the time. And it has a chronic illness flare up. So that's what ended up happening, was I ended up having a chronic illness flare up. And we ended up being home the rest of the weekend. Thankfully, though, Matt had picked up some convenience foods for Sunday morning, and he was perfectly fine, being the sweetest husband ever. He and the kids made like convenience foods for the rest of the day. They had cereal Sunday night. They had heart healthy Honey Nut Cheerios the rest of the night. So yeah, so things didn't quite go as planned, and everything's okay with my mother-in-law now. Well, it's getting better. But yeah, it didn't quite go as planned, but also like I look back and I'm looking at it as, I'm glad that we didn't go anywhere, because we didn't know that my body was like ready for that chronic, like, and we never know when that illness, when the flare-up's going to happen. Like, we never know. And when the flare-up happens, either I'm in chronic pain or I'm like fatigued, like my body cannot stay awake, because one of the things that's an offset, I don't talk about it a lot. I may make a members only post, because it's, or video, because it's like super private. But one of the things that happens is I end up in chronic pain. Like, most of my body just starts hurting. My potassium becomes deficient. Like, when it happens, like my potassium levels just drop, and there's like no really, like, we eat a lot of food with potassium in it. And I take potassium supplements, and I had just taken a potassium supplement on Friday, and it still just will suddenly, every now and then, just unexpectedly just drop. And it did, and my potassium bottomed out. And then like I end up with severe joint pain, and I just have an overwhelming, like, I cannot stay awake. So it's all manageable at home. Herbal tea twice a day. I have to do that because of all of this, and then I'm gonna have to do it twice a day for a week, because like my body has actually rejected the only medication that I can take for this chronic illness, and so now I have to do completely natural, whether I wanted to or not. Like, I have to. So that was basically what happened. So it wasn't a bad weekend. I'm glad we didn't go away for a whole weekend, because with the flare up like that, it would have been very uncomfortable to have to deal with that in a hotel room. And like, of course, you know, we wouldn't want to stay in a hotel room the entire time. We would have wanted to go out and do stuff together as a couple. So I'm glad that we didn't go away, because then when the flare up happened, I could be at home relaxing. My kids could be at home. We didn't have to rush back. Well, we did rush once to go get them, but like, we didn't have to rush around a lot. Didn't have to worry about dealing with the dog. He could be here with us. And yeah, we had a very restful weekend. And honestly, like, that was what I needed too. I needed a weekend to just rest and reset. And I'm still done with the chronic stuff today, but it's nowhere where it was on Saturday and Sunday. Yesterday I actually went out and was helping somebody and was doing some driving around for somebody. And I was a little bit better, and I was doing a little bit better. And then today I feel a whole lot better. But today we're going to do a major reset. Like yesterday while we were out, I bought yogurt, and because I need the probiotics. And then we had we bought frozen berries over the weekend at Sam's. We have salad we can do. We have soups we can do. So like some easy comfort foods that can help rebuild my levels and things. So yeah, that's kind of where we are, and I'm okay with that. And like I said, I'm glad that I was at home. We could do a rest day to make up with all that. So yeah, where are we here with any kind of future travel plans? We have nothing definite. We're hoping to get away in this summer, and we're hoping to make all that happen. It's a huge expense though to travel right now with a family. Pre-2020, travel was so much cheaper for a family. It really was. During 2020 and post-2020 world, the cost of travel for a family has went to unrealistic numbers. Like it's so unrealistic. Pre-2020, we could travel as a family very affordably. I mean, I could make a day trip happen for under $500. And now, like, there's some day trips or weekend stuff I'm looking at that, like, it's a minimum of $2,000. And that's crazy to think about. And when I plan trips like that, like, I'm calculating, like, we're packing our own ramen, we're packing our own instant oatmeal, we're packing our own, food and stuff. And, like, we have Sam's points where we put towards, like, buying groceries for travel, and then we save those up. So it just felt so unrealistic to see, like, pre-2020 travel to post-2020 travel, how insanely expensive it is. So we're still trying to. I want to get to do something with, especially with my adopted daughter for her last summer, which, I mean, I'm not going to kick any of my kids out when they turn 18. Just, I know that once they're 18, they have these goals and what God wants to do in their life. One of them has an amazing vision of what God wants to do in her life, and we want to help her move on to that next stage in her life. And the rest of them aren't 100% sure yet. So, like, we're still working through that. But I don't know any future travel plans count from this point, but that was how our weekend went this time. We're hoping to get to do some pretty cool stuff with 2 birthdays coming up, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, thanks for following along. And like I said, it wasn't quite the travel travel weekend videos that we were wanting to do for you guys, but sometimes real life happens and sometimes things happen, and you just got to see the positive in it. And I'm so thankful for the rest that I was able to get over the weekend, and I feel so much better. I feel refreshed, and that was the goal for this weekend. And so does Matt. He feels more refreshed and relaxed too, and now we can go through this next week and we'll see where it goes. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.